What is good? What's up? I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm about to get out and run the roads with you guys again. I'm about to get out there and tear up the pavement. I've been living this, I don't even know what life this is I've been living. I've been sitting at the house just hanging out. Well, I hung out at the truck stop in the TA in Tonopah for a month, and now I've been at home for 3 weeks. I haven't been paid to move a load since early December. It's been almost 2 months, but we're moving. We got a load. We got ourselves a pre-plan. Um, I just finished messaging my driver manager. I was in the middle of making a video and it got interrupted because they they put me in Z status. Um, I don't want to rant and rave about Z status, but Z status is where they put you so that you don't look bad on your driver manager's metrics. Um, it's statistics for anybody who doesn't know what, if you haven't worked in a metric driven job before, but they say that they've given me the excuse that they use it to so that I don't show as an available truck, and the planners and the salespeople, they go out and they find loads based on the number of trucks they have available in an area, and they post those loads in that area. Um, and if I'm just sitting here not doing anything, then they're pulling in more loads than they need for that area. That's one of the excuses they give me for Z status, but that's a load of crap. There's another status that they can put you into, and they can set your availability out to whenever you're going to be available for a load for that specific reason. That's what that is for. Z status is metrics for your driver manager. And it's really annoying when they put you into Z status because it disables your ELD, it disables your load board, it disables everything. You can still log into everything, but you can't do anything in it. I can't even look at my hours of service whenever they put me in Z status. So some moron put me into Z status about 15 minutes ago, and I messaged, and they got me pulled out of Z status. It only took them a couple of minutes to get me pulled out of Z status, but we're out of Z status again, and we're back out here. So let's talk about the loads that I'm moving. And wow, the load board's moving a lot faster now. It was taking like 30 seconds for the page to refresh. Now it's refreshing much faster. So let's talk about the loads I looked at and what I ended up grabbing. I'm just refreshing here to make sure that there's not anything new that I'm missing out on. So there were a whole bunch of loads going from Oklahoma City to Wabash, Indiana, that popped up on the load board today. When I woke up at 8 a.m., and I'm sitting there in bed, and I popped up my phone. I pulled up the load board on my phone, and I saw all those loads. I got so excited, jumped up out of bed, got dressed, ran up here, turned on the computer, loaded up all the load boards, and started looking into all those loads in Wabash. And there were some negatives about them. They're not paying that great. They're going like 800 miles, paying $2,000, so roughly a little over $2 a mile. That's the full rate. I only get 65% of that. So once you break that down, I'm only getting like $1.40 a mile on these loads. So they're not paying very good. I mean, they're like borderline too low for me to move. And but you know, it's picking up in Oklahoma City. You know, I'm not having a deadhead for it, and it's going into a solid market. Indiana, it's a good area to get freight out of. So it's not paying very well. That's number one negative. It's a near max weight load. It's like 43,000 pounds. That's another negative. It's going, Wabash is out in the middle of no damn where. So that's another negative, is that you're having to drive on like country roads, 2-lane highways, bi-directional, for an hour or two to get to this place. It's not like 5 miles off the interstate. It's like 60, 70 miles off the interstate. I don't know exactly. I didn't break down the exact mileage. It was like this far. um, it looked like it was probably somewhere between 60 and 120 miles on highways. And then you have to do that to get back out as well. So double whatever it is to get in to get back out. So far, I'm like, yeah, this load sucks, but I'm still gonna take this load. I was still gonna take the load, and then I checked the weather because this is going up into the north, the northern half of the United States. So in the winter, I always check the weather whenever I'm taking loads into the northern U.S. Or there are some places down in the south that can get bad weather, like Flagstaff, Arizona. Anytime I drive through Flagstaff in the winter, I check that out. So I check the weather, and sure enough, there's a damn snowstorm coming in. That's why we have all these Indiana loads on our load board. I've never seen loads like this on our load board. Oklahoma City loads going out of Oklahoma City are so rare on USA Truck's load board. To see 6 or 7 of them pop up all at once, that is so bizarre. So anyway, um, I looked at the weather, and there's a snowstorm that's going to come into Wisconsin Sunday, and it's going to hit Indiana by Monday, and it's going to last for 4 days. So on the day that I'm delivering this load, there's going to be a snowstorm hit. So it's going to be snowing while I'm, there delivering the load, and then I'm going to have to drive on these country roads in a snowstorm. No, thank you. I thought about taking the load even under those conditions, but I couldn't find a backhaul. The only backhaul that I could find was in Wisconsin, which was a 230-mile deadhead, picked up that same day. So this delivered Monday morning. The Wisconsin load that was up near Milwaukee picked up Monday night. So I would have to, as soon as I got unloaded, I would have to drive straight to Wisconsin, 230 miles through Chicago during rush hour in a snowstorm. I don't think I could make that on time. It would probably take a long time to drive through all of that. So I probably wouldn't have been able to make the pickup, and it was going to be driving through some sketchy places. So I decided, you know what, this Wabash, Indiana load isn't looking that great anymore. So I started looking at other options. I found a load that was coming out of LA over by the ports down by Long Beach, Carson, California, going to, I can't remember where in the hell it was going, someplace out east. Like, I want to say, I remember. It was somewhere in Virginia. It was off I-81. It was Staunton, Virginia or something like that. Really, really awesome load. Would love to haul that load. It's like $7,200 plus $600 fuel surcharge. Really solid load. Not amazing, but a really good load. Not like a unicorn load or anything like that, but for the LA market, it was just a solid load. Only problem is I couldn't find a load to go pick it up. It didn't pick up until Friday, so I have like 3 days to get there, but I couldn't find a load to get me to that area. So, I factored in what I was going to make if I deadheaded there. It was going to be a 13 to 1400 mile deadhead. And, sorry, I heard some noise. Once you factored in the deadhead, then, how much I was making on the load just got so low, it wasn't worth doing the load. I was going to be running it like $1 a mile. Once you factor in the extra 1,400 miles and the extra cost of fuel, it's going to cost me $400 or $500 in fuel to get there, because fuel prices have gone up a lot, like 50 cents a gallon in the last couple of months, and it just wasn't worth it. So then I started looking at other options, and I came across a load going from Kansas City down to Orlando, Florida, that was paying $5,000. And that's the load that I got. There were 2 of them, nearly identical. They picked up at the same time. The delivery appointments were an hour apart. One was 100 pounds less than the other. I got the one with the earlier appointment that was 100 pounds less. So it picks up Friday morning at 8 a.m. It's supposed to be a preloaded trailer. Let me show you on the spreadsheet. I don't have a backhaul yet. I'm still looking for a backhaul. But spreadsheet right here, this is the load on row 7. It pays $49.44. It's breakthrough fuel surcharge. That just basically means that you have no idea what fuel surcharge they're going to pay. They're going to decide after you deliver the load whether or not they're going to pay you any fuel surcharge and how much. I factor breakthrough fuel at 10 cents per mile. I've had it as low as 4 cents per mile. The most I've ever been paid on breakthrough fuel was like 15 cents per mile. Normal fuel surcharge typically pays somewhere around 20 cents per mile at USA Truck. Other places pay 30 cents or more fuel surcharge. The fuel surcharge at USA Truck is an issue. It's a huge problem. But anyway, I factor the fuel surcharge really low on breakthrough fuel, and it's a really good estimate. It's pretty spot on. That's almost exactly what I get on fuel surcharge on this breakthrough fuel. But anyway, I don't want to turn this into a rant. I could go on for an hour about breakthrough fuel and how shady it is, and it's just a way for USA Truck to take a cut out of my fuel surcharge because they're shifting the money into the line haul. All right, we're not going to rant and rave about that. One of the reasons that I'm looking forward to getting on with Landstar and getting the hell out of USA Truck. There's a whole bunch of things they need to fix over here. USA Truck is still one of the best places you can lease on, though. That just shows you how bad the rest of the places are. But anyway, on this load, on the loaded miles, I'm going to make $2.74 per mile. That's what I make. I make $2.74 a mile. I like running at that. But once you start throwing in all the deadhead miles I'm doing on this, it's not as good. It's not quite amazing. This is the reason you need to factor in everything whenever you're taking loads to someplace like Florida. So I've got a 330 mile deadhead to go pick up this load. So that takes this up to like 1550 miles. And I'm running at $2.17 a mile whenever you factor in my deadhead to pick the load up. If you also factor in, I'm probably going to have to deadhead 500 miles to get out of Florida and to pick up a load. Then we throw this up to 2,000 miles. Now I'm down to $1.71 a mile. So I'm only making about $1.71 a mile on this load once you throw in all of the deadhead miles. So it's still a solid load, but it's no longer like initially when you're looking at it and you're looking at this 15 miles and you're looking at this 274 a mile and you're going to make $3,300 on this load. Initially this load looks amazing, but once you factor in all of the realistic expectations of deadheading, this load no longer looks that great. That's the reason Florida loads typically pay so well, is because you have to factor in an extra 500 to 1,000 miles on the load to account for all the deadheading that you're going to have to do to get the hell out of Florida. And if you're going all the way down to Miami, man, that could be a massive deadhead to get the hell out of there. And if you do find a load, it's probably not going to be paying very well. Loads coming out of Florida do not generally pay very well. But I'm going to make $3,300 gross to the truck on this load, and it's going to take me 3 days to do it. So I still have 4 days left in a 7-day work week, which means that I could easily tack on a couple of more loads onto this week and make quite a bit more money. What I average per week gross to the truck is about $4,700. So I should easily be able to hit that $4,700 gross to the truck on this week. If I get another really good load to tack onto this one, this could be like a $6,000 a week. It could be a really, really good week. But we'll just have to wait and see. As it stands right now, I don't have a backhaul for this, so we'll just have to wait and see what I get and what I'm able to add on to it. But on a daily average, this is like $1,000 a day load. And it has an extra day on the load. So really, this is like a $1,500 a day load with a day off. So it's a pretty solid load. So I'm happy with it. And it's go back over to the browser. I'm happy with the load, and I'm happy to get back out on the road and get the hell out of the house. I've still got a couple of days until I'm going to be leaving. This doesn't pick up until Friday. It's Tuesday. I'm going to leave the house Thursday night at around 10 p.m. Because I do have a 330-mile deadhead to pick up the load. And I want to take a nap before I pick the load up so that I can actually get the hell out of there early in the morning after I hooked up to the load. But sorry, somebody was trying to call me. There's so many spam calls. I have a call filter thing that screens all my calls. But yeah, that's everything's looking good so far, and we're finally gonna be hitting the road. I'm gonna be getting out there and taking 30s at the fuel island with you guys again, living the dream. We're about to do it. Heading to Florida, from Kansas City to Florida. I'm not 100% on the route that I'm going to take. I am probably going to take this route. I don't like this route. It's going through like every major city. I've been debating taking a longer route. Like there's so many routes that I could take to get there. So many things that I could do. Oh, this is a max weight load. Yeah. I was sitting there thinking, trying to remember, like this road right through here in Springfield, this 63 going through Jonesboro down to West Memphis, Arkansas, and Memphis, Tennessee. I've taken this route right here 2 or 3 times, and it's real windy. It's up and down hills, and every time I've ever taken that road, I've been empty. To take this road at near max weight would be really frustrating. And it would be frustrating for the people around me because it's a lot of 2-lane bi-directional road. And then they'll have like passing lanes. So I don't know if I want to do a couple of hours of that. But I could take that route right there. This part of it from this is like State Road 7 and then 13. That's like an interstate through here. This is an awesome road. This section right here in between Memphis and Springfield. Now this section right here is really good. It's just this section that's like it's just like an hour, 1 or 2 hours in between Jonesboro and right up here to like this, somewhere up in this area. Right about here down to Jonesboro is the only really sketchy part of this road. So it's only an hour and a half or so. And the rest of it's like interstate. And I get down here to Birmingham, and from Birmingham, I would take this 280. And then the 82, it's the 280, and then the 82, and then I would hit the 75 right here in Tifton. I'm pretty sure that's the route that I took last time I went to Florida. But it's a lot of highway driving just to bypass some major cities. I don't know if it's worth it to bypass St. Louis, Nashville, and Atlanta to do all of that highway driving. And I will tell you that south of Birmingham right here on this 280, was it? I don't even think. No, I don't think it was the 280. Did I take the? I think I. Yeah, I think that is the route that I took, but I would take the 65 down to Montgomery, and then take the 82 across, instead of the 280 out of Birmingham. But this 280 is miles and miles of lights. The last time I took it, I got so lucky. The Google ETA changed by 45 minutes because I didn't hit a single red light for like 5 miles. It was just like 5 miles of green lights. And I was going like 50, 60 miles an hour. The speed limit was like 55, 60 miles an hour through there. And I was going the speed limit for like 5 or 10 miles and didn't hit a single red light. And it changed my ETA on that Google was using by like 45 minutes. Like I said, I saved like 45 minutes because I didn't hit a single red light through there. So yeah, to drive through there, and that was it. The reason I hit every green light was because I went through there in the middle of the night and there was no traffic, and the main street was just all green lights. What the hell? Yeah, so I've got a couple of days to make a decision on what route that I'm going to take, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go ahead and just stick with this route and drive through all the major cities. Mainly because it's a max weight load. If it was not a max weight load, if this was like a really light load, then I would take the highways. But stop and go traffic with a max weight load and driving windy country roads and stuff like that, I don't want to do that with a max weight load. It's too much of a pain. So yeah, that's what we'll do. And I already went over fuel, right? I'm going to grab Oklahoma City and then just south of Nashville are the two places I'm going to fuel up. So I think I've hit everything. That's what's going on. Let's refresh the load board one more time. They've got me all out of the Z status, and I'm good to go. Just double checking that I'm not missing out on some awesome load. Because I'll fight with them. I'll cancel this load off and get another one if a better one pops up. Oh, we have new loads. No? No, we don't. This list got really, really long earlier, but they all disappeared. Like there were a ton of $4,000 loads posted on here, and they all disappeared. Like there were two of the Florida loads, identical. I got one of them. The other one disappeared, and there were several other loads in the 4,000 range that were on here. They were all posted this morning. They're all gone. So, anyway, that's it for me. I'll end the video there, and then once I start getting back out on the road, I'll just start uploading videos like crazy, like I always do. It's just that when I'm sitting here at the house, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I'm just sitting here looking at the load board all day and playing video games. And looking at the load board, yeah, people love watching load board videos, but would you like watching a video where all I did was sit here and refresh this page all day long and there was only like 2 loads posted all day? Like sitting here for 3 or 4 hours just to see one new load posted on there. Oh, here's one going to Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a pretty solid load. Spring Hill to Charlotte. Picks up on Saturday. Delivers on Monday. 42,000 pounds. Going to an Amazon. bunch of Amazon loads, bunch of Procter and Gamble to Amazon loads. That's what a bunch of that's the load that I'm taking is A&M Products there in Spring Hill, Kansas, is owned by Clorox, which is a subsidiary of Procter and Gamble, and it's going down to an Amazon distribution center in between Orlando and Tampa in Lakeland, Florida. So Procter and Gamble and Amazon are moving a lot of freight together. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.